Hello, welcome to a soft speaking video where I have to get things off my chest. If you're not one for rants, you probably shouldn't have clicked. That's what this video is going to be. And this particular video is going to be mostly about logical inconsistency, but also touching on just lack of reasoning in general. You know, when you don't give a reason for something. The thing that made me want to make this video was a couple of days ago I had a conversation with someone and we didn't see eye to eye, and the problem I have with it is I don't understand why we don't see eye to eye. They didn't want to explain their point of view, they just had it, and that is frustrating. And it relates to logical inconsistency. By the way, I'm going to come across as pretentious in this video. It's not my intention, but it's going to happen. You can make your mind up what you think about me. It's okay. I don't mind. I try not to be pretentious, try not to be arrogant. Quite the opposite. But hey, you can never stop that. You can never prevent other people from seeing you that way entirely. Anyway, the conversation that we had was about body parts and what was suitable to show and what wasn't. Well, we disagreed, basically. I was of the opinion that body parts are body parts, and it ought to all be able to be shown, regardless. If it's okay to show face, an arm, a leg, it's okay to show a pussy, a dick, an ass, breasts, etc. To me, it's all the same shit. And this is just in terms of visual stuff, right? We're not talking about the physical, we're talking about the visual. This is you seeing someone walk down the street naked. This is you getting a picture that you didn't necessarily want, but, you know, whatever. It's that kind of thing. We're talking just seeing it. Somehow, certain things are okay to see and certain things are not okay to see. I get people have different opinions of what they like, but that's just feelings as far as I'm concerned. And you can't base law off of feelings. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The argument was mostly about why or why not it's okay to show or not show certain body parts. And I wanted to understand, because I don't understand. So we both agreed that it's horrible that people are dictating how people should dress in the Middle East, for example. And that situation, it's mostly based on religious reasons. You know, a woman's got to be completely covered and whatever. Horrible stuff. If you're a Muslim and you agree with that, we very much disagree. But fuck it. At least it's a reason. At least they have logic. It doesn't make sense to me, and I don't believe the religion, but at least it is technically logical. And they can explain to you why. Because that's the religion, right? I don't need to, I don't ask a lot when people explain things to me. I just need to understand. If it's religious, alright, fuck it. And us in the West, we go look at that and we go, that's horrible. But then we stop women here from showing their breasts in public and whatever. And we consider that taboo. And I don't understand why. I don't get it. How can you look at another culture, a religion specifically, and go, that's bad, because you shouldn't allow people to dictate others concerning what they wear, and then turn around and dictate others on what they wear here. Now, with breasts, or fuck, nipples, female nipples specifically, in the West, they're kind of coming around. You have free the nipple movements and whatever. I think pretty soon it's going to be just a regular thing. And I'm all for that. I've been conditioned to like breasts in a way that is, it goes beyond just liking them being squidgy. I'm attracted to them. So, hey, I don't mind culture moving that way. But then you have the other body parts. You have pussy, you have dick, ass to a lesser extent. I think ass is more accepted than a lot of things. But still, most people would want it not to be shown, which is their personal opinion. And that's fine. My problem is when people say it shouldn't be legal, when it shouldn't be allowed. Because then you gotta ask, well, why not? What gives you the right to dictate what this person should and shouldn't wear? What are your reasons for this? The answer this person I was talking to gave was, well, they're sexual organs. The other part, they're not sexual organs, therefore, they're okay. And I go, okay, well, why is it a problem that they are sexual organs? And at that point, they just said, I don't want to argue. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. Because that means that they don't have an argument. You see my problem here? To me, it just seems like they're inconsistent. It seems like they've been brought up in a society where one thing's okay, the other is not. And then you ask why, and they can't give a reason because they've never gotten a reason. And so they don't understand, but they just kind of roll with it. And I don't like when people are like that. I don't like logical inconsistencies. If you think one thing's okay and you don't follow that down the path that puts you on, you're fucking up. Intellectually speaking, you're fucking up. But this person stayed strong on their point. They refused to both explain why they believed what they believed, but also refused to change what they believe. Which leads me to believe that they don't actually know why they believe what they believe. And the worst part about it all is that they're not even wrong in certain situations. I don't personally believe that you should allow people to walk down the street, or more specifically, generally be in public, without covering their nether regions. That includes ass. But I base that more on health reasons than me not wanting to see it. I want to see some ass, pussy, and hell, fuck it, give me a dick on occasion. I don't want to see some others. But, I'll take the good with the bad in that sense. My point is more, these areas have fluids with tons of bacteria. And that shit spreads like wildfire. And as a society, people have worked hard to eliminate disease, eliminate illness, sickness, and then to have people just say fuck it and rub their ass along every fucking chair, have their dick fling side to side and hit the walls all the way down the hallway. You gotta be pretty fucking massive for that to happen, but you get my point. It's not sanitary, it's not healthy, it's not good objectively speaking, and it affects people beyond their feelings, beyond their control. It's kind of like vaccinations in that sense, where a vaccination isn't just for you, it's for everyone. It affects everyone. It's like pollution, how a company has to stick to guidelines and regulations because it affects everyone, not just the company, or not just the person running it, right? These things affect everyone, therefore strict regulation. You kind of would like to give them the option, but it just doesn't make sense. For the greater good of society, you really ought to just keep health under, in check, At least health that spreads, health issues that spread. So that's sort of my reasoning for why I wouldn't allow it. But they didn't have any reasoning, and that frustrated me to no fucking end. And it also reminds me of growing up, asking my mother or father why I couldn't do something, or why something had to be done, why this was that, and why that was that. And they just go, that's just the way it is. Or the worst one, because I say so. Oh, fuck. Nothing pisses me off more than because I say so. It is such a fucking bullshit power play that is so unnecessary. You're the fucking parent. Yes, I get that you're in charge, but like, I'm trusting you with this shit. At least you can teach me why. But I've come to realize there isn't a reason why a lot of the time. There just isn't. They don't even pull out the general good reasons like, it's good practice. It's a good habit to get into. You know? They don't even say that shit. They just say, because I so. I get it. A child that's 3 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old even, they're not going to listen to that. They don't really give a shit why. They just don't understand why. But once you hit 8, 9, 10 years old, if you're still saying, because I said so, you're fucking up as a parent, in my opinion. You gotta explain that shit, because otherwise one of two things is gonna happen the way I see it. One, they're gonna turn into me and despise bullshit reasoning and hate those kind of arguments. Or two, they're gonna turn into a person who just submits and uses those reasons and just kind of goes, yeah, nah, because that's the way it is. They're gonna turn into someone who stops thinking for themselves, stops trying to be logical, stops trying to find out why, because they're constantly not only being told no reason for it and finding out nothing. Often they'll be punished for asking why. They'll be hit, they'll be told, because I said so, and if you don't do it, this will be bad, and this bad thing will happen. You kind of condition them not to ask, not to dig, not to be who they would be naturally as a human being, and that is someone who investigates, who finds things out. That's healthy behavior, and you are suppressing that healthy behavior, and you really shouldn't do that. And it frustrates me, like, it really fucking frustrates me. And I think that kind of thing leads to society being the way it is. It leads to society saying, this is okay, this is not okay, we don't give a shit why, this is just what we say, this is just how it is. It's really frustrating. And I wish people would stop. I wish people would just sit and think, why? And then answer that question. Or if they can't answer the direct question why, because sometimes there isn't a reason, like, why is it not okay to see a dick? Okay, you may not like it yourself, but that's not why it shouldn't be okay in general. Why isn't it okay in general? I can tell you why it's not smart to send a dick pic to people. I can tell you why it's not smart to walk down the street naked. I can tell you why it's not smart to do various things. That doesn't mean I would want those things to be illegal necessarily, but, walking down the street naked as a dude, it's going to be cold. Your dick's going to shrivel up. It's going to be embarrassing. You may not care entirely, but it's just unnecessary stress. Probably don't want to do it. It's probably not smart. You don't want to send a dick pic to people unless you're sure they want to see it. Because, one, on their side, you could trigger some memory of, you could shock them into triggering some memory of sexual harassment or something. It's not pleasant to think that you could have that effect on someone, and it is too common to not be something you take into consideration. If it was like 1 in a million who were sexually harassed, okay, I get it. Don't change your life for other people in that way, because it's, then you have to change everything. Everyone gets offended by something or triggered by something. But in that case, I think sexual harassment is common enough, for example, that it would probably not be a smart idea. It might also open you up to a bunch of nagging, complaining. It's just, again, unnecessary stress. There's a lot of smart reasons why not to do things. But when people say, don't do it, and it shouldn't be allowed to do it, I kind of go, no, you're missing something here. And that's a reason why. And they never fucking have a reason, and it frustrates me. Anyway, I feel like I'm sort of repeating myself at this point, but at least it's good for sleep, you know, having people just kind of talk bullshit in your ear for 15 minutes. I'm probably going to do more videos like this when I get frustrated with other things. But logical inconsistency and lack of reasons for things, that's definitely something that I am annoyed by. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And hey, fuck off. I'm done. Alright, bye.